Founder. Around 700 BC, the poet Hesiod Theogony offered the first written cosmology or origin story of Greek mythology. Ancient text, Theogony's poem. It is polytheistic, which means they believe in more than one god, and it was established in Greece and it remains in Greece today. Greek mythology are the beliefs and rituals and observances of the ancient Greeks, who became the first Western civilization about 2000 BC. Era. The ancient texts we call Greek myths are mostly from the period known as the Classical Greece, circa 500 BCE. The stories behind the myths are from a much earlier time, but written versions don't exist before classical times. A Greek god. A Greek god is a higher being of a certain classification of life. A family of gods and goddesses lived in a cloud palace above Mount Olympus, the highest mountain in Greece.
Zeus is the king of the gods and god of the sky. He's the father of many gods and uses a lightning bolt as his weapon. Hera, Zeus's wife and queen of the gods, is known for getting mad when Zeus cheats on her. Poseidon, with his short temper, is the god of the sea, earthquakes, and, horses. Hades is the god of the underworld, the dead, and precious minerals. Whoever said you can't take your treasures with you when you die? Demeter is the goddess of the harvest and causes things to grow. She has a daughter named Persephone. But she was stolen away, causing Demeter to go frantic. Hades had taken her away and made her his queen of the underworld. Demeter found out and demanded her daughter back. She only got her back for half the year, though. The rest of the year she refused to let anything grow, which is what we call winter. It just goes to show that if you anger your mother-in-law, especially if she happens to be your sister, it can turn your life into a living, well, you know. Apollo and Artemis are twin gods. Apollo is the god of the sun, music, art, and prophecy. Artemis is the goddess of the moon, the hunt, and virginity. She once asked her father Zeus for eternal virginity. Like any good father, he agreed. But Zeus's promise was put to the test several times, and she had to fend for herself. In the end, that's probably why she was such a great shot with her bow and arrow, honing her skills as a hunter. Hermes is the god of messengers and travelers, and is a trickster god. Once, as a baby, he played a trick on Apollo, who was tending his cows. Apollo called Zeus for help, who then called Hermes. Hermes explained to his father what he did, which gave Zeus a good laugh. He then made Hermes give back the cows, saying no harm had been done. Hermes also gave Apollo a lyre as a token of his goodwill. Apollo loved his gift and played for his cow. Hephaestus is the god of the forge and of crafts, and makes Zeus's lightning bolts. As an ugly cripple, his mom had pity on him and gave him Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty, for a wife. Despite being the goddess of love, she held none for her ugly husband. Instead, she fancied the passionate god of war, Ares. They had many clandestine meetings together. Hephaestus once spied them making out and made a divine net in order to trap them. Then he showed them to the other gods, who laughed at their predicament. One day, Zeus was having a splitting headache, so he called his son Hephaestus to help him. Hephaestus used one of his axes to cleave open Zeus's head. Out of Zeus's head came a fully grown daughter, Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Athena soon got into a competition with Poseidon to see who would be the patron god of a new city. The people voted for the goddess of wisdom. When Poseidon found out, he was furious and sent a wave from the sea to punish them. The people then knew they had made the right choice and called the city Athens. One of the 12 gods on Olympus was Hestia, the goddess of the hearth, who took care of the Olympic flame in their home. But the gods wanted more excitement on Olympus, so they brought in Dionysus, the god of wine. Dionysus livened things up with parties and drunkenness. Soon, Hestia was pushed aside and forgotten. In many versions of mythology, Dionysus was the 12th god on Olympus, and not Hestia.
The tenet of belief in Greek mythology are the people that believe that your soul went on a journey to a place called the underworld, ruled by a god named Hades. There were many gods who ruled over different realms, like Zeus in the sky and Poseidon in the sea. Another tenet of belief was to worship these many gods and receive blessings.